Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about Copilot Pro in Microsoft Excel, what is the best practices and what are the tips and tricks that we can use in order to maximize our productivity in Excel. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Pedram Agand, I'm a PhD student in computer science, and this channel is AI Fun Fact for All, where we talk about AI and machine learning for our everyday life in our very simple form that everyone can understand. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. After you make sure that you already have the Copilot service enabled in your Microsoft account, you can come inside the cloud version, or if you already have the Microsoft service, then you can do it inside your desktop version. So if you don't know how to enable that, I have already created a video before, so I put the link in the end of the video. Let's go to office.com. This is the place that all of the Microsoft app is available here. You may already know that to use the Copilot Pro, you don't necessarily have to have the Office for desktop. So for that sake, I'm going to use it inside the cloud version. But if you have it inside your desktop, you would be able to use it there as well. So I'm gonna choose the Excel in here, and I've already put data in here for the sake of basically this tutorial, and I'm going to talk about what are the best practices and what we can do inside this table data. So the first thing is that you'll notice inside the home, under the very end of it, you will see a Copilot button in here. So that is showing that you have this Copilot enabled. If you click on it, it's gonna take a while, and then it is going to basically show you what are the different capabilities that you have. So it starts from the create, so it basically can create formula for you. It can highlight the code, it can edit, sort and filter, and it also can provide some general analysis. We will go over all of them in this video. Before we go any further, I want to address two common issues that you might encounter. So the first is when you are using the desktop version, you might see that your Copilot is gray and it's not enabled. So the reason for that is that in order to the Copilot to work, you need to have your file inside your OneDrive or your SharePoint. So that is very important. So if you have your file just inside your local document, you need to make sure that you save it inside your OneDrive. And how you do that, let's say, so right now it is already in cloud, but let's assume that it was inside your local desktop. So you come into your file, and then you will basically go to the save as, and then save it inside your, there will be an option in here which is telling you that save a copy to OneDrive or a SharePoint. So that's basically how you copy the file that you have inside your SharePoint and OneDrive, and then you would be able to have your Copilot enabled. But since we are in the cloud version, we don't need to do that. The second issue that you might encounter, that this is also the case in here, is that you wouldn't be able to work it. Either the Copilot Pro is gonna pop up an issue for you and say that there is a problem, or no, same as right now, it doesn't say anything, but you're gonna see that it's not gonna work. And the reason for that is because the Copilot Pro only work with the tabular data. What we will need to do is that we come to the home, and inside here you will see an option for basically the table, format as table. So you're just going to click on it, and just you're gonna choose the style that you like, so it will convert it automatically to basically a tabular format. And then after that, I'm going to ask the same question, and then you will see that it would be able to actually answer the question. So as you can see, it created it and analyzed it, and says that okay, 19 it is actually the minimum value of the closed data. And then I can also verify that. So if I come in here and then see that this is the lowest, and actually this is the value was correct. The possibility of different capabilities is endless, but I'm going to categorize it in different sections. The first is about getting general knowledge. So this one, like what is the minimum of the column, is kind of like a general knowledge, but it can also be like how many days, the value of the stock was over, for example, 175. So this is basically a general question. I didn't specifically mention any of the columns, but it will automatically try to find the ones that make the most sense. So let's see how it works. So as you can see, it chooses the close column and says that the number of the values that are greater than 175 is actually 86. So I can actually add it to a new sheet in here, and then I can go over this and see that, oh, this is actually the formula that it's tried to generate in order to come up with the response. So it's basically generating the formulas automatically and give us the result. And we can basically double check that and make sure that this computation is correct. Another use case is more detailed information. For example, finding any outliers or any situation that is not considered as a trend. So I can ask like a very general question like, is there any seasonal trend for this company? So this is not at all mentioning that I'm specifically looking for an outlier. So we didn't find actual value from the seasonal, and the reason was because I had the daily data, and then when I change it into daily trend, it actually find the outliers for me. So it is very important. I didn't specifically mention anything about outliers, but it automatically find that 4 of the data points have a value that are not similar to the adjacent values. So it kind of find it as a special trend or basically outliers. So we come up with some pivot chart. We will go on that in our next prompt. The other category of things that we can do is basically analyzing the data. So it includes any arithmetic calculation that requires inside our data. You can say compute the average, for example, low price in, for example, let's say in January. So as you can see, it actually created another pivot table for us and then try to filter out the months to be only the January, and then try to compute the basically average of the low price. So this is an example of a pivot table, and as our pivot table we are selecting the low price. I can do it with a high price as well, and then as you can see, I'm doing in here only for month January. I can do it for more months, for example for February as well. The analysis does not just end with the pivot table. It can also populate a new column for us based on the current column value that we have. So let's see an example in here. I'm gonna ask it to create a new column as a daily volatility of the stock. So as you can see, again, this prompt is very specific to this example, and it is nothing that you can basically directly convert it. So it needs to understand that by volatility we means the difference between, for example, the high and low price, and then it needs to come up with a solution that actually do that. So as you can see, it provides this for us, the formula that it thinks that is going to be a good measurement of the daily volatility. It provides the high minus a low value divided by the open price, and it hasn't added the column yet, but if I come in here and hover over it, it's automatically add this to us. And then if we think that okay, it makes sense, I can actually click on it and it will add this volatility. The other category that is allowed in Copilot Pro is basically manipulation. So what we can do is that I can apply some manipulation such as filtering to the table that I have. So as an example, I'm saying that filter out the table where the volume is over 60 million. So I'm only interested in the cases when the volume of the trays are actually more than 60 milli. So let's see what will happen. As you can see, it applied the filter to the volume column to show the only rows where the value is greater than 60 milli. So as you can see right now, every value that we have is greater than this. But what if we'll look at it and then we decide that, okay, I want to come back. So if you want to cancel this filter, you just click on undo. The other thing that you can do is basically ask the Copilot to come up with some insight about your data. So this is very helpful if you don't have some prior knowledge about your data and you want to know that is there anything that you can get from in terms of insight. So you're going to say that give some insight about the data. It actually created a chart for us. We'll go over how we can also do that shortly. So here it says that it is some of the open prices, and then it says that the data in the active table seems to be related to stock market information, which columns for dates, column adjusted close volume and daily volatility. You can see the pivot chart above. This is where it shows the open by the date. So let's actually add this pivot chart in here. So it actually created this chart for us. So the other thing that we can do is actually generating some plot. So I can ask the question that create a bar plot for the average stock close price in each month. So let's see what it can do. It created this plot for us. I'm going to add it to a new sheet again, and then again it has created another pivot chart for us for 1 year in 2023 for December, and then another for 2024 all the way to June, and then it computed the average close price and then converted to the basically this bar chart for us. So I can, as I mentioned, I can add it to other things. So instead of close price, I can do it also with a high price. Let's see if I can actually change this chart. Unfortunately, it says that is unable to do it, but I think it's because we are in the preview version. So if you have the Copilot Pro in your Microsoft 365, it is not preview anymore, and then it would be able to do some follow-up questions like editing the pivot table or editing the plot. The other that we can do is basically highlighting the text. So I can actually ask it to highlight the column based on the condition. So for example, I can ask highlight the volatility column to red if it is in the top 10%, so it means that very high volatility, and then green if it is in the low, and yellow otherwise. Alright, it wasn't unfortunately able to do this based on the 10% percentile, but I was able to ask it to do it based on the numbers that I mentioned. I can also ask to change the format of a column. So for example, I can ask it to change the open price to format currency. So as you can see, it's been converted to currency. The plotting is not just a bar plot or the line chart. We can also ask it to do a pie chart for us. So as an example, I'm asking it to create a pie chart of the average volatility versus the month. As you can see, it is created a pie chart. I can add it to a new chart to see the pivot table in here, and I can basically see that, okay, for example, for January, this is the number, and for each month I can see the volatility, and then basically the size of it is also proportion to the volatility value. And there you have it, guys. It was a quick overview of different tips and tricks that we can use with Copilot Pro inside Excel. Thanks for watching until the end of the video. If you want to get more information on the other apps such as the Word and basically the PowerPoint, make sure to watch these two videos that I created before, which I go over their benefits. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and see you until the next one.